Öland is the second largest Swedish island and the smallest of the traditional provinces of Sweden. Öland has an area of 1,342 square kilometers and is located in the Baltic Sea just off the coast of Småland. The island has 25,000 inhabitants. It is separated from the mainland by the Kalmar Strait and connected to it by the 6 km Öland Bridge, which opened on the 30th of September 1972. Administration. The traditional provinces of Sweden no longer serve administrative or political purposes but still exist as historical and cultural entities. Öland is part of the administrative county of Kalmar County and consists of the two municipalities of Borgå Municipality and Mörbylånga Municipality. There was an Öland County in the short period between 1819 and 1826, otherwise the island has been part of Kalmar County since 1634. Heraldry. Öland was granted provincial arms in 1560, but it would not be until the 1940s that the province was assigned its proper ones. The arms granted to Öland had been mixed up with the arms granted to Åland, and this was not discovered until the 20th century. While Öland changed its coat of arms, Åland, which was now a Finnish province, kept its established but originally unintended coat of arms. The deer is meant to symbolize the status of Öland as a royal game park, and the arms are topped by a ducal crown, blazon, azure deer or attired, hoofed and gorged gules. History. Archaeological evidence indicates the island of Öland was settled about 8000 BC, with excavations dating from the Paleolithic era showing the presence of hunter-gatherers. In the early Stone Age, settlers from the mainland migrated across the ice bridge that connected the island across the Kalmar Strait. Evidence of habitation of Öland occurred at least as early as 6000 BC, when there were Stone Age settlements at Öland and other locations on the island. Burial grounds from the Iron Age through the Viking Age are clearly visible at Göttlinge, Hultestad and other places on the perimeter ridge, including stone ships. There are 19 Iron Age ring forts identified on the island, only one of which, Aketorp, has been completely excavated, yielding over 24,000 artifacts. Around 900 AD, Wulfstan of Hedby called the island Öland, the land of the Eowans. Then, after the land of the Burgundians, we had on our left the lands that have been called from the earliest times Blekinge, and Mjor, and Öland, and Gotland, all which territory is subject to the Swedes, and Wiernodland was all the way on our right, as far as Wiesel mouth. However, this is not the first mention of the Eowans. There is an even earlier mention of the tribe in the Anglo-Saxon poem Widside. Scholars such as Schutt and Kendrick have pointed out that there was probably an even earlier mention of the people of Öland in 98 AD by Tacitus, who called them the Avions. After the Langobardi come the Reudigni, Aueons, Angli, Vani, Eudoses, Swarines and Newthones, all well guarded by rivers and forests. There is nothing remarkable about any of these tribes unless the common worship of Nearthus, that is Earth Mother, is considered. They believed she was interested in men's affairs and walked among them. On an island in the ocean sea there is a sacred grove where a holy wagon covered by a draper waits. In Swedish history, the island long served as a royal game park. Ottenby and Halltorps were in particular selected by the Swedish crown in the Middle Ages as royal game reserves. Geography. Öland is the second largest of the islands of Sweden and was historically divided into one charted city and 500 cities and villages. Hundreds. Facts. Highest hill, Hogsrum, 55 meters. Largest lake, Hornsholm. Length, 137 kilometers. Width, 16 kilometers. Climate. Öland has a semi-continental oceanic climate with vast temperature differences between summer and winter. There are two main weather stations, one located at the northern edge and the other at the southern edge. In spite of the more northerly latitude, Öland's northern edge is far milder than its southern edge, since air warm over greater surrounding land masses during days, whilst retaining heavy maritime features during night. It is also more representative for the island's general climate, with only the deep south being much cooler down a narrow peninsula. Environment. The dominant environmental feature of the island is the Stora-Alvaret, a limestone pavement which is the habitat of numerous rare and endangered species. The first known scientific study of the biota of the Stora-Alvaret occurred in the year 1741 with the visit of Linnaeus. The underlying bedrock layer is mainly Cambrian sandstone and alum-chert, and Ordovician limestone that dates from an approximate range of 540 to 450 million years ago. The Cambrian trilobite Echoparadoxides Ölandicus is named after Öland. Öland is served by a perimeter highway, Route 136. In 2011, the Gripen Gas Company filed a request for test drilling on Öland for natural gas. The request was approved by Bergstaten, the governmental agency responsible for handling geological issues regarding prospecting. The approval has been met with critique on the municipal and county administrative levels, citing that the many cracks in the limestone bedrock could cause the groundwater to become contaminated by the gas prospecting. Culture. The Borgholm Castle was built between 1669 and 1681 for Queen Hedvig Eleonora and designed by Nicodemus Tessin the Elder. In its vicinity sits the Solliden Palace, summer home to the royal family. The limestone pavement habitat of southern Öland, known as Stora-Alvaret, has been entered as a site of the UNESCO World Heritage Program. Features of this are the many rare species found, prehistory sites such as Gettling and Aketorp, numerous old wooden windmills left standing, some of which date to the 17th century, and the special geological Alvar landscape. For a decade, Öland has been organizing an annual harvest festival called Skordfesten that takes place every October. In terms of this event, the island's farmers gather with farmers from the rest of the country and sell their crops and let those that are interested take part in everyday life on the farms. Among other activities, there are also many art exhibitions for display during Skordfest and especially during the art night Konsertnatten. The Romantic poet Erik Johan Stagnelius was born in the Öland parish of Gardslösa in 1793 and lived there until 16 years of age. He wrote several poems about the island. More modern writers living on or writing about Öland include novelist Margit Friberg, poet Anna Rydstedt, novelist Birgitta Trotzig, poet Lennart Sjögren, children novelist Eva Bexell, poet Tom Hedlund, novelist Johan Theron, poet and novelist Magnus Utivik and novelist Per Planhammar. Skordefest. Skordefest is an annual harvest festival on Öland, held every September, which attracts thousands of visitors. Pumpkins are placed upon the top of bales of hay, have signaled to buyers that full harvest goods are available for sale at the location. In Borgholm, a pumpagub, a large scarecrow-like figure, built entirely of goods, is erected at town centre. The pumpagub celebrates the bounty of the full harvest. Sports. Football in the province is administered by Småland's Fotbollförbund. Each year the King's Rally, a vintage motorcade, takes place in Öland.